Hey, my name's Alex Demchek, and I'm the CEO of Streamline Books.
And my name is Will Severns. I'm the COO of Streamline Books.
And Will and myself are actually both authors, and we have recognized the need for more people like yourself who are industry and thought leaders to take what you have in your head and get it into a published book. And so we get the chance to work with business owners, thought leaders, entrepreneurs from all over the country, write, edit, and publish their book. And so the way in which we do that, we have a proven 16-week process. And so our guarantee to you as a prospective author is that in that 16-week proven process, we will help you accomplish your goal and maybe even your dream of writing, editing, and publishing your book. And we created a turnkey publishing process to do that. And just like you would buy turnkey, move-in ready real estate, we have a process that from beginning to end that is turnkey in the sense that, whether we're helping you edit or write or ghostwrite or develop your book, we're taking you from start to finish, and you will have this book that you're proud of at the end of the process.
So in speaking a little to the process itself, all of it begins with ideally an intro call with a member of our team. So we have a link below that we would love for you to schedule a call, talk with someone from our team about what our process looks like with your story. So after the intro call, if you say, wow, this sounds great, guys, I'm ready to roll, then what we do is we set up a 90-minute kickoff call for you and a few members of our team to say, man, for the first time in your life, you have someone to take this idea, bring it to reality. And on that kickoff call is where we discuss things such as who is your audience, who is the people you're trying to speak to with your book. We talk about themes of your book. We talk about what is a win after someone reads your book. And then we talk about outline of your book. So if you have an idea of what your chapter list could be, all these things are great, but to have a team to help you shape and shift and mold that outline into what it needs to be, all of that is so important. So after we do your 90-minute kickoff call, then begins our 16-week process. So we'd love to talk with you more about what that looks like. But again, like Alex mentioned, it is all a part of how we are going to bring your book to life.
Yeah, and a little bit about our story and how this came about. So Will and I had been friends for years. Will had his own company doing content marketing for entrepreneurs and business leaders, and I was doing speaking engagements. And many times as I would speak at these engagements, people would come up to me afterwards and say, hey, how do I write a book? I would love to do that. And so when Will and I reconnected, it was this perfect pairing where now as we've grown this team of incredible talent of writers, editors, and project managers that you'll get to work with, the vision is set that the book that you're able to write, that you're going to make an impact with, it can impact so many people, but it starts with, hey, getting it from here on to paper. And so there's so many examples of amazing people that we've had the chance to work with and bring their story to life.
Yeah, so for instance, one of those authors, her name is Grace Melrose. Grace came to us. She's a ex-professional tennis player. And she said, guys, I run what is called Tennis Girl Nation, where she helps coach, train girls from across the country in the game of tennis. So as Grace was working on her course, her online course that she was creating for her audience, she said, I want a book that supplements the course. And so essentially what we did is we helped Grace write, edit, and publish her book. And now she has it to share with the world. And so what is so cool about having a book for yourself is that it takes your message and makes it portable. And so that's what we got to do for Grace. She would love to meet one-on-one with girls from across the country, but the reality is she can't clone herself. Except with a book, she kind of can.
Yep.
Because she takes her training, her core principles, puts them in book form, which she did with Streamline, and now, in turn, she gets to help girls throughout the globe, really.
Yeah, it's incredible. Another amazing author we've had the chance to work with is Dale Alexander. And Dale has been a wealth advisor for years and has so much experience and expertise in financial literacy. And so Dale had been giving this keynote to students all over the country on how to be wise with your money. And so what we did, our team did at Streamline, is we helped him package all of that, kind of like podcast style, taking it and we got it into a book that now he's able to travel the country, and it's truly amazing. I mean, he just had a school district in Georgia order 120,000 copies of his book for graduating seniors in their school district. And so when you think about the impact that now, like you said, making this message portable, he's able to use this book, and all 120,000 graduating seniors will not only be impacted by this financial literacy message, but it's going to allow Dale to do that many more speaking engagements and get his message into the world, which is so fun for us to watch.
Yeah, so essentially how our Streamline process works is either one of two ways. We call them option 1 and option 2. So with option 1, that is you as the author saying, guys, I like to write. Maybe you've kept a blog in the past few years. Maybe you have been featured in a few online publications. And so you have not only the writing expertise, but the time in your schedule on a week-to-week basis to lead the way writing. We say, that's great. So that is where we more so come alongside you and trail you. So we assign you a developmental editor who's going to be trailing you from a high-level perspective. As you're writing your manuscript, they'll say, hey, this looks great, think about changing this, or you wrote this in chapter 3 when actually it would work better in chapter 7, those kinds of things. Option 2 is more of a traditional ghostwrite. So if you're saying, guys, I've got the idea and everything, my expertise up here, what you don't have is the time or skill set to sit in front of a computer and hammer it out. So in our ghostwriting option, we conduct a series of interviews. It's around 5 interviews where we essentially work through your outline. We record those calls. We create a transcription of those calls. And then our ghostwriter takes those transcriptions in an effort to stay as close to your voice as possible to create the first draft of your manuscript. What's great about this process is that it's collaborative. You're in the document with us as well. You can say, guys, this looks great, this looks great. I would never say this, can we change it? And so it is real-time collaboration. And so what all of this speaks to is our Streamline 16-week process that conveys 2 reasons behind our name Streamline. One is that you finally have the accountability and the systems and the process to make your book a reality. The second reason behind our name Streamline is that it pertains to book length. So we have all read, that 500-page book where you get to the end and think, man, that probably could have been 40 or 50 pages. At Streamline, we think there's nothing wrong with a shorter, punchier piece of content that maybe is 150 to 200 pages in length, that is great, it's readable, it's digestible for you to share with your audience, all in an effort, like Alex is going to talk about, in lowering the barrier to entry for authors like you to get your voice into the world.
Yeah, so in the scheme of traditional book publishing, all these huge book publishers out there, they only publish books for authors who have a built-in audience. So, for example, maybe they'll only publish an author if they have hundreds of thousands of social media followers, or maybe if they have hundreds of thousands of people subscribe to their email list. And for Will and I, as we kind of set out on this journey, we noticed, there's a need for industry thought leaders, difference makers like yourself, to be able to get their message and book out there, not just to sit on those ideas or those thoughts that can impact people. And so for us, we do want to lower that barrier to entry to where we can say, hey, look, in 16 weeks, we can guarantee you that in 16 weeks, you'll go from blank page, I don't have anything, I'm just thinking about it, to now you have this published book on Amazon where people can purchase it and you can go out and share your message. And so for us, it's so exciting because there are so many different authors that we've had the chance to work with. I mean, we could sit here for so long and just talk about the amazing stories that have come from these different authors from all different industries, all different ages. It's been incredible, but the reality is we can't wait to hear your story and what you have to bring to the world, because you do have a message to share with the world. And when, a lot of times we'll say, the world needs your book. And, you might think, well, do all 7 billion people in the world need my book? And maybe not. But I think there's an audience a lot closer to home for you. Maybe it's the small group at work that you get to invest in. Maybe it's the sports team that reads your book. Maybe it's the one person who eventually will read your book and their life could be completely changed because they've read your book. And so I just want to encourage you in that you do have a message to share, and we would love to hear about your story. And so you can click on the button below, and we'd love to set up a 30-minute call just to hear about your story, why you want to write a book, and how our team at Streamline can help you bring your message into the world.
Absolutely. And so in wrapping it up here, just know that we think that you're watching this video for a reason, and that reason is because you've maybe had an inkling for months or even years to take not just your expertise, but your story, which is unique to you, and put it in book form. And once you do, maybe more than even a podcast or a video, think about these words on paper that are going to last for potentially hundreds of years, passed down generations of your family, where they're going to get to glean from you, is just something so cool to think about. But again, it all starts, like Alex said, with you clicking that link, filling out a time, and talking with a member of our team. You know, we have a phrase that we love that was actually spoken by one of my favorite authors, where he said, "Don't seek to get published, seek to get edited." And we just think that that is so true, and that publishing is one thing, and we do a pretty good job at that at Streamline. However, our real bread and butter is helping someone like you not just tell your story, but tell a great story that resonates with your audience and that you're proud to share with the world. So thank you so much. We would love to meet you in person someday, but until then, virtual is going to have to do. Sign up, talk with a member from our team, because we would just love to come alongside you in this endeavor that we truly believe the world needs.